I'm Keri Wise, Head of Retail Sales at United Community Bank. Today we'll be covering credit tips. Credit is very important, and starting off with good credit and maintaining that good credit is very important. First, I encourage you to pull your credit. There are several companies that you can pull your credit from annually. It's really important to see how is my credit. Second, we're going to look at two important things. One is revolving credit, and the next is unsecured credit. And there are two different buckets within your credit file. One, we're going to start with revolving credit. Credit card debt is really important to manage effectively. First of all, let me give you an example. A $10,000 credit card maxed out at an average rate of 18%. If you make the minimum payment 2%, $200, you will be paying on that credit card for almost 9 years. You will have paid an approximate $9,000 of interest over those 9 years for that credit. So before you make the credit card purchases, ask yourself, do I want to pay this bill for the next 9 years? So credit cards are not something that I like credit cards, to be honest. They're not something I think are bad tools. However, you've got to be real disciplined with them. It's real quick in today's society to pull out your purse or wallet and swipe that card and go. And next thing you know, you get the bill and oh my goodness, what have I gotten myself into? The other thing that's important with credit is how you utilize credit. So a big piece of your credit is timely payments. That will hurt you the worst. If you miss a payment, that will decline your score at least 40 points on average. That's the number one biggest hit. The number two biggest reduction in points are utilization points, what I call it. So if you have that same $10,000 credit card, I ask you to keep about $2,000 or less on that card. That's 20% utilization. And that is very, very helpful. So if you have a $1,000 card or a $500 card, you need to keep $200, $100 on those cards. One thing I do recommend on a low dollar card is online shopping. That's more from a fraud situation, to be honest. I want to help you minimize fraud. And so have a very low dollar online shopping card. Maybe it's $500 or $1,000. And you make those purchases for the companies through online shopping there. That minimizes fraud. And hopefully you can keep a low balance on those cards as well. It's really important that you keep a low balance because it's a low limit. So if you use that $1,000 card for $500, just make sure you're very intentional about paying that off very timely so it doesn't negatively impact your credit. So utilization matters. Next, home equity lines of credit, which is when you use equity in your home to make purchases or be there as a safety net should something come up. Fantastic tool to use if you own your own home and have equity in it. However, it does show on your credit report as a revolving credit line item, which is great, but again, you need to remember utilization. So if you have a $25,000 home equity line of credit that you're using, try to keep that balance approximately $5,000 to $10,000 or so. If you see that you're going to use almost all of that for a very long period of time, I would ask that you look at other fixed options, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. Again, that's to keep the utilization low on that piece. So the first part of your credit is payment timeliness and the revolving credit. The next piece is installment loans, which would be like a car loan. You get a car loan, you get a fixed payment at a fixed rate. So that would be your mortgage, your auto payment, and maybe when I talk about that equity line, I need $25,000 to remodel my bathroom, and I'm not going to be able to pay that off for 10 years. There's a closed-end option for you with that, and I encourage you to talk to your banker about those options. That might be the better way to go. It keeps your utilization low, and it keeps you an installment loan with a lower rate and a fixed payment for X number of years that suits your budget. So those are really important credit tips I ask that you consider. I look forward to spending more time with you on Money Wise with Keri Wise. Thank you and have a wonderful day.